Welcome to a lesson about synthesis, which is the next project that we'll be working on in your three-part research paper process. We are working toward the problem solution paper, but first we need to talk about how we transition from listening to our sources to putting them into conversation. So one thing you may remember from the Annotated Bibliography module was this Burkes Parlor metaphor. Hopefully you closely read or watched the resources about Burkes Parlor because this is a metaphor that we will use throughout the process. If not, I recommend that you take a little bit of time to go back to the Annotated Bibliography folder and look closely at the metaphor documents that I provided you. I give you a video as well as a document to read. But essentially, Burkes Parlor metaphor is an overview of the research process where you imagine that you go into a parlor, which is just a meeting space, and people are already talking about a topic. It's a heated debate where people agree and disagree with each other. As a new person in this parlor or this meeting space, you can't just start joining the conversation. You have to listen for a while. That's what the annotated bibliography is. It was you listening to one person and their argument at a time, so one source at a time. After that, you can start to summarize the argument by seeing where people agree or disagree. That's called getting the tenor of the argument. After that, you'll be able to put in your or join the conversation. So the yellow highlighted part of the metaphor that I have here essentially overviews the entire process. You listen for a while, that's the annotated bibliography. You decide that you've caught the tenor of the argument, that's the synthesis paper that we're working on now. And then you put in your or, that'll be the next project when you actually start building your own argument, and we'll look more closely at the rest of the metaphor when we get there. But keep in mind that you're not ready to join the argument yet. Maybe in high school you went directly from finding research to joining the argument, but by first listening and putting sources into conversation to see what existing members of the conversation are saying, you'll end up with a much stronger argument later. So the annotated bibliography is where you found a wide range of source material to help answer your problem solution research questions. So you should have found sources that help you answer questions like what causes the problem, what are the effects of the problem on students or staff or faculty, depending on the problem you're investigating. And you should have found several sources that start to explore possible ways to solve or help the problem. Now you're ready to start synthesizing what the sources say. I specifically want you to synthesize solutions. So look at where sources that you found about solutions overlap or diverge. Where do they agree or disagree? Can you find some threads or themes or subtopics? So do some of your sources talk about what students can do? Other sources talk about what faculty can do, and other sources talk about what administrators can do. Those would be examples of themes or threads. Other kinds of themes or threads might be, do some of your sources talk about technological solutions like applications or tech tools that could be used in the classroom, while others talk about assignment design, and then other sources talk about the way that students and instructors communicate. So what your threads will be will depend entirely on your topic and what you're finding in your sources. We'll use some tools later in this unit that will help us develop those threads. But that's what your sources will be, that's what your paper will be about, is the sources. You are not going to be creating an argument about how best to solve the problem yet. You are just going to be writing a paper that overviews what your sources say and how they overlap. So this synthesis will be a 4+ page essay. The sample is, I believe, 4.5 to 5 pages long. You'll use at least 4 sources. So remember, all of your sources here need to be about possible solutions to the problem that you're exploring, and at least 2 of those sources should be scholarly. You may need to add more sources. If you, in your annotated bibliography of 8 sources, found 5 or 6 sources that talked about solutions, try to use all of them. Or if you only found 2 or 3 sources that talk about solutions, try to add 2 or 3 more at this point. So you can add sources to your annotated bibliography. Not all sources from your annotated bibliography will apply to the synthesis. If a source is not talking about solutions, it's only talking about causes or effects, it's not really relevant for this paper, but you'll be able to use that source again when we get to the problem solution paper, because it'll help you with the problem part. But for now, this synthesis is going to be looking at solutions. Your conclusion is going to start to build an argument for your next paper. So the body of your paper, and you can look really closely at the sample paper to see what it might look like, but the body of your paper will basically say, these are some of the topics that my solution sources talk about. And then your conclusion will say, based on the solution ideas that are already out there, here's where I think I'm going to go with my solution for the problem solution paper. So definitely check out the sample paper and their solution, but also look at what they're doing in the body paragraphs. And I provided some notes for you in the margins to help you better break down and understand that sample paper. But synthesis is the key word here. Your synthesis essay will be structured around an introduction that introduces your sources and provides a descriptive, not argumentative thesis. A descriptive thesis will basically say, the sources that I found talk about these 3 or 4 main ideas. And then you'll organize that essay around, those 3 or 4 main ideas or threads. And then your conclusion will give an indication of your preferred solution direction for that problem solution paper. Take your time with this. I'll provide some more resources, including a synthesis matrix later in this unit so that you can start to develop your threads. But keep in mind that a synthesis is a unique kind of paper that you've probably never written before. And it does require you to think a little bit differently than you're used to thinking. Usually you think of an essay as supporting an argument of your own. But here, your essay is really just explaining what your sources say. Take your time to identify those threads of conversation and really use the resources that I've provided to you in the module. So make sure you are using the readings, use the assignment prompt, use the synthesis matrix that you'll look at later, and use the sample essay anytime you get lost about what something should look like. Check out how the sample did it and see how you could apply what they did to your own paper. And as always, please reach out to me if you have any questions, or consider going to the Writing Center, or use the Smart Thinking app that's available to you. But you have tons of resources for this project. Please use them, do your best, and if you do a good job with this synthesis, your argument in the next step, in the next phase of the process, is going to be a much stronger argument than you could have come up with if you just dove right into the conversation from the jump. So have a little bit of fun with it, and please keep in mind that I'm always here for you if you need a little bit of extra help.